Now here a function f of x is defined piecewise and a function g of x is also defined piecewise. And what is required? We need the limit extends to 0 of g circle f of x. Yes, one method of finding the required limit is first define the function g circle f of x from the definitions of f of x and g of x and then evaluate the required limit. But as the limit is required for extends to 0 of g of f of x, we need not always find the composite function g of f of x. We can directly evaluate the limit by the fundamental definitions of limit in terms of left hand limit and right hand limit. Let's see the procedure of finding the limit without finding g circle f of x. Now shall we write as extends to 0 minus f of x would be tending to f of 0 minus. Now what is f of 0 minus in the function? When x is less than or equal to 0, f of x is defined to be 2 minus x. Then it would be limit h tends to 0 f of 0 minus h. So where does this function define? It is 2 minus x. Then what will be the function then? It would be limit h tends to 0 2 minus of minus h, right? That is nothing but limit h tends to 0 2 plus h. As h is positive, shall we say this limit is a number which is 2 plus a number which is slightly more than that of 2 because h is positive, right? So as x tends to 0 minus, f of x would tend to 2 plus, isn't it? Now as f of x tends to 2 plus, now let us calculate limit x tends to 0 minus left hand limit of the required function g of f of x would be same as writing limit x tends to 0 minus g of, what is f of x as x tends to 0 minus? Just now we observed it is g of 2 plus. Now how do we calculate limit x tends to 0 minus g of 2 plus? There the function when x is more than 2, then g of x is defined as x minus 5, then it is 2 minus 5. 2 minus 5, that means the limit value on the left hand side is of 0 is minus 3. So for the required limit, we have evaluated the left hand limit as x tends to 0. Now if this limit is equal to the right hand limit, then the final limit exists. Otherwise the limit does not exist. So for that what do we need? We need to evaluate the right hand limit as x tends to 0 plus. So let's calculate as x tends to 0 plus. Again let us observe the functional behavior of f of x. F of x tends to f of 0 plus. Now that is same as limit h tends to 0 f of 0 plus h. Now how is the function defined to the right side of 0? 0 plus h. When x is greater than 0, f of x is defined as x plus 1. So how much would be this? This is limit h tends to 0 h plus 1. That would be 1. As h is positive, this would be 1 plus. So a number which is slightly more than 1. So as x tends to 0 plus, f of x is tending to 1 plus, then how will be the limit x tends to 0 plus of g of f of x? We are calculating the right hand limit of the required function g circle f at 0. Then how much will be this? This would be limit x tends to 0 plus g of, how is f of x behavior as x tends to 0 plus? Just now we have seen this is 1 plus a number which is slightly more than 1. Now for a number which is slightly more than 1, how is the function g of x defined? To the right side of 1, the function defined is x square minus 2x minus 2. So that value would be 1 square minus 2 times 1 minus 2. That is 1 minus 2 minus 2. That is minus 3. So what did you observe? The right hand limit of g of f of x at 0 is minus 3. And previously we observed the left hand limit of g of f of x as x tends to 0 is also minus 3. So can we write limit x tends to 0 minus g of f of x is minus 3, and this is also equal to limit x tends to 0 plus g of f of x. Now the left hand limit exists, right hand limit exists, and they both are equal. So what is the required limiting value? Yes, the limiting value is minus 3, right? Need not find the function g circle f to get the limit of x tends to 0. We can directly use the limiting tendency of f of x and evaluate the limit of g of f of x, right?